it is a much closer game. It just very frustrating. We don't go out there and get the 2 points. A late goal on the penalty kill. They scored one on their power play and overtime there too. So it's just more of the same feeling. But there is positives to take out of this, and our work ethic, our compete. The thing that we've talked about all year. Blash talks about a lot. So we had those, but it doesn't feel good to come up short again. Well, they had their big guys going. They were just rolling 2 or 3 lines, and they just kept coming over the boards, and they play with confidence and they make plays, and they had us on the ropes. But Ned made big saves down the stretch. It's just unfortunate when I'm not sure how Kreider's goal goes in there to tie it up off our defenseman or just squeaks in. It's a unlucky break, but he made some big saves for us down the stretch and kept us in it. The last game, obviously, it was not even close to it, and there was a lot of discussion in our locker room. A lot of guys, thinking a lot about that last game, and they came out, and we came out and played hard and had a good response. And I thought Suter's line did a great job against the Banijad's line all night, and kind of forced them to tweak the lines. And we had our depth going, and we had yes and no. We've played well at home all year, and that's something that we're going to have to continue to do as a good team, and as we build towards a good team, being a good team. And but we can't keep taking late penalties and having pucks end up in our net. And it's cost us a lot against Tampa. It cost us again tonight. So we can't keep doing that. High end offensive team, and they like to make plays. They like to generate. They have some good scoring depth. So we did play well. I thought a couple of the goals we kind of gave to them, and we still have to clean up a lot of things defensively. But most of that, the pucks being on our sticks, taking care of it. So there's still more we still have to keep going and keep learning. But it was better effort tonight.
Seemed like Ned had a...
Yeah, we've been in that spot here a couple of times here in the last little bit with Tampa and with with these guys where, there's a lot to kind of take in. At the end of the day, we have the lead late. We got to find a way to kill that penalty. It's the exact same thing against Tampa. We have to find a way to kill the penalty. That's just the reality of it. And right now we're not doing a good enough job there, and it's just hard to not take any penalties at all. We took 2. So we just got to find a way. I thought our guys, one of the things we talked about was being mentally tough. And, right away, early in the game, they score a goal where we make a mistake and then it's a little bit of a fluke. And I thought we stayed with it there. And so I think that's an important piece of it. Ultimately, wins and losses certainly matter. We want to win without a doubt, but we want to play the right hockey. And I thought we were closer to playing the type of hockey you have to play to be successful here, short term and long term. Not perfect, and there's certainly areas we can get better at in those. But I thought there was moments, or good moments where we did it the right way. Now, I thought we gave up 4 in regulation, so that's not perfect. But I thought we were better in a lot of ways defensively. Way better, certainly. Sunday to Sunday, that was obviously no good, but. I thought we were way better in a lot of ways, and I thought in the third period especially, I thought Ned was great. I thought I know the one went offsider on the PK there. I felt like he wasn't giving one up. So it's unfortunate we lost an assignment there on the winning goal. You want to win. You want to find a way to win that game. You feel better about yourself, but I do think with clear eyes, we played closer to the type of hockey you got to play to be successful. Again, I think if you go back over the last. Almost a couple months. I think the power play's been around 20+%, 23-ish%. So I think it's been working at a fairly good rate. Even on a good night, if you're at 23, 24, 25%, you're 1 out of every 4, 1 out of every 5. So I think there's things that, just because it goes in doesn't mean it was light years better than some nights where it doesn't go in. Some games you have chances and it doesn't go in. I think ultimately we found ways to execute plays. I think we won some faceoffs, which is a big factor in it. We kept pucks in the zone and spent more time in the zone. But I can't sit here and say to you, you can point to the odd night in the last 2 months where it hasn't been good enough, and I'll say yes, 100%. But over the course of those 2 months or so, I don't necessarily keep the stat, but I know Alex has told me it's been around, 20 plus percent. That's pretty good in the league. I personally didn't necessarily feel worried about the message getting through, but we needed to do a better job than what we obviously did in that game, and what we've done for the last since the All-Star break. If you look after the All-Star break, we haven't been nearly good enough, and there's probably a number of reasons for that, and I think at some point we had to look sometimes you got to get super slapped, and we've been slapped enough. We should have learned this before this, but felt like we got slapped so hard on Sunday that we had to really look in the mirror, all of us together, and say, is this the way we're going to go down, or what are we going to be about here? And I think we've done a pretty good job of that the last couple of days. I thought the practice was good. The energy was good, but what was probably better in the practice was just how serious we were, and how I thought determined we were to make sure and come out and have a better effort. And I thought we did. Now we don't want to lose in overtime, so we got to find a way to win those games. But certainly I thought guys did a really good job of stepping up. It's a good question. First off, for the last whatever it's been since the All-Star break, we are very open to criticism. We've left ourselves open to that 100%. I get it all day long. I think starting the year, I think we did a pretty good job of putting ourselves into a position to try to grind and be in the mix as long as possible to be a playoff team. And I can just tell you, the reality of human emotion is, we got our expectations up as we should, and I don't want to damper those expectations. I want those to be the expectations, and I do think a number of guys had a hard time coming out of that. Just emotionally, we haven't been where we were for most of the season, and so that's the reality sometimes of sports, and I thought the reality of life, I should say. So I at the end of the day, we've got a passionate, great fan base, and I think the fans, you guys, we all want the same thing. We want to be in a better spot, and I think we worked our way to a better spot, and now we haven't done a good enough job. But I also would say, in the end, you got to judge over 82 games, and so let's finish these 14-ish, 15, whatever amount of games super strong, and make sure that when we're talking about what season we had, I think you could talk about a strong finish, a really, really bad stretch after the All-Star game, and hopefully a real strong finish. That's what we're fighting for here.